I'm suffering inside and everything. I'm very frustrated. Even right now, as I hear now, we don't have any water in this yard here. And it's a weir on the background there. It's a very, very bad condition. I have to go and bathe. Understand? And I have to lift water from here, go around there, go bathe. No water, no facility. If you notice, there are a whole heap of people living in the yard here. And it's poverty.
Adjusting to his new life has been difficult for Meshach Willis. The entrepreneur has fallen on hard times since losing his house as a result of the financial sector collapse of the 1990s.
You used to a certain type of life. And to move down to this level, it's not easy to cope with it. Many of my friends, them and other people who know me and know where I am now and know where I used to be, said to me that they don't know how I manage it. They don't know how I manage it. Because some people say they couldn't live it out. Even my children, them sometimes them confused because they've never used to this kind of life. And they don't know how to cope with it. It is so hard. It's very, very hard to cope with life like this.
After working hard for several years to build his dream house, he was thrown out in an instant, losing belongings he and his family had spent years accumulating. The finsac entrepreneur claims his house, which was valued at between $9 and $11 million, was offloaded by finsac for just $3.5 million.
At the time when the house sold, they said that whole 11 odd million. And they said they sold it for 3.5, and I still have a balance of 7 point something. Up to now, I don't know if I still owe that money or what happened. I don't know if I have a money in my hand now, if they will come to me for that money, because they say I owe it, and I don't know if it's still growing interest. Because every time we ask for an account, nobody won't give it to us.
Mr. Willis says he ended up being finsacked because he took a revolving loan from the now defunct Eagle Commercial Bank. However, with the interest rates skyrocketing, he, like many others, found it difficult to keep a pace with the financial demands. Dealing with the emotional toll of finsac hasn't been easy for many who were forced to start life all over again. The news of a Manchester couple's suicide late last year, which was linked to finsac, hasn't surprised Meshach Willis.
Many other people just dead. They take it to heart and dead. My wife, I know that she couldn't take the pressure. That's why she died. You understand? And if I continue like this, I go dead too. And leave my children them. Nothing. Nobody's life shouldn't go like that.
Lascelles Poyser is another finsac entrepreneur who believes there are many untold stories about the emotional fallout from finsac.
I know some of these people personally, and I grieve for them, Some are sick, some can't take it. There's one gentleman, when he told me of his wife killed herself. I'm not going to name because he's still around. And when he sold his house, he was living in Stone Hill. Very, very nice house. He almost gave it away. Beautiful home. The wife couldn't take it. She suffered more than him, Ended up shooting herself.
Mr. Poyser is a real estate developer who says he borrowed $9 million to help fund the housing development. But like other entrepreneurs bitten by the finsac bug, he saw his debt ballooning out of control.
The interest rate went from 14, maybe 18% to 100% with penalty and interest, 150%. It was totally impossible. So the more we pay is the more interest gone on. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, And one debt, it was what, $909 million. And that one I think I've actually paid over $100 million.
Like many finsac entrepreneurs, Lascelles Poyser says the initial stages were difficult. But his biggest tragedy was losing his wife, who packed up and left him, taking the children.
When things were not going good, she took the opportunity. She could not deal with it, really. She was an ophthalmologist. As a doctor, she could not deal with my falling from grace, if you like. So she went back home. That, I think, was the biggest of my disaster.
He says for many years he wasn't allowed to see his children as his wife partially blamed him for her company going under because of finsac. The realtor admits that the events left him in a daze.
I was upstairs sleeping most days, just gone from myself, and it was really devastating.
Despite losing property estimated at $500 million Jamaican dollars to finsac, Lassell Poyser admits that he's better off than many other entrepreneurs who lost their life savings in the financial sector meltdown. He's banking on a major development in St. Thomas, which he's now working on to turn his life around. However, Meshach Willis isn't seeing a light at the end of his tunnel anytime soon. He says he's extremely disappointed with what he believes is the Portia Simpson Miller administration's perceived lack of commitment to concluding the finsac inquiry.
I believe that this government should be anxious to see that the people who suffer in a condition like this to get some redress, even to bring out the inquiry and get it that everybody can know what happened, and to see how people are suffering within it. I think they should be the one who willing and anxious to get it upfront, that people can get to understand themselves and people can get some redress and put back themselves together again.
Like many finsac entrepreneurs, Meshach Willis just wants closure.
My life torn down because of these people. You understand? And I am suffering. When I say I'm suffering, I'm suffering. Life is very hard. I don't know for everybody, but I believe my life has been robbed. And I want back my life.